Hello everyone, I just made a huge mistake. Thanks for joining me again here on my channel. If you haven't already done so, please follow, and I guess subscribing is the following in this game, but I just did a video and it was the one before this one. They're going to be in the same kind of playlist here, and I did not have my audio set correctly, so it is completely silent. You can put your own music on and watch the games if you want to, but I'm going to do another deck with the deck and a couple more games with actually audio this time because that was silly. So it is a Crimson Amethyst Crimson deck. I can't call it Crimson, the color pair Ruby and Amethyst Crimson in my mind. That's just how it works. And yeah, we're kind of a mid-range shell here using some of the color pairs that I haven't really tried yet. I haven't really tried much Amethyst. A lot of the cards are a little bit lacking in my mind, but some of the ones that here that I do like, I want to give a try, especially the Elsa package. Sergeant Tibbs is our one drop, going through the deck kind of start to finish here. Just you kind of need them against some of the more aggressive decks when you're going second on the play. I don't really see their use as much, but they're still fine. Gaston really working to the fact that we're going to be tapping down some of our things with Elsa, and really good just kind of sitting there ready to take something down maybe a little bit bigger. Lifu has a number of uses in this deck, as well as against certain decks. It untaps opposing bodyguards. It also helps ready some of the cards like Elsa that you essentially turn Lifu into the ability to exert a character by protecting your own Elsa and not having to exert itself. With the Queen, which we'll get to in a minute there, taps to draw cards as well. We also have the Doctor, which I can't pronounce his name, as pointed out in a previous video. I'm not going to try. I just call him the Doc. Kind of early way to help control the board. Definitely has a lot of things going on for it. I think this is the wrong one up here. It's the 2-cost one I'm playing, the one with Challenger, not this one. Click the wrong one in the deck, but that's fine. Elsa, kind of our Snow Queen, who's the deck's kind of built around there. A lot of ways to exert opposing things and taking advantage of them being tapped, such as the Anna, 4 costs, as well as Maui being able to rush it down, as well as Aladdin shifting into Aladdin against something that they just played that you get to then take down with a big Aladdin and kind of swing that lore back in your favor. Pretty great. Maleficent, kind of a pair with friends on the other side. They both kind of filter through your deck, keep the card draw flowing. There are only, I think there's only, is it 10 uninkables in the deck? There's Rafiki, Be Prepared, and Elsa. There's a total of 10, which isn't that many, but without too much in the way of card flow, that can feel like a little bit clunky. If you'll see in the previous video, my hand kind of clunked up at one point before they whole new worlded me, but whatever. Aladdin, definitely a card to pair with Big Aladdin, kind of, controls the early game, does things like that, but Anna pairs well with Elsa, keeping things locked down for good tempo swings there. Maui, one of my favorite cards in the game, really good at taking down big threats as a removal spell. And Elsa, Spirit of Winter, if you saw the previous video, again, completely silent, put your own music on if you want, I don't care. If you want to watch the games, did show up quite often. And Maleficent even is in the deck, mostly to help combat some of the Sapphire decks which use Hades to kind of get ahead by just taking care of one of your cards and giving you a resource. You need more ink. Well, if you have more ink lying around, then Maleficent looks pretty great, as it can just banish something right back. Be Prepared, a way to kind of clear up against some high lore cost cards, and maybe something you can play into. Also with Shield of Virtue, which we're playing 2 of here, to ready certain cards like Elsa. It becomes functionally tap 3 to exert an opposing character, so you can do it twice then, or with the Queen, you can draw additional cards. It also helps untap an Elsa or an Aladdin if you need to be prepared after either attacking with it, challenging, or questing. It's kind of a way to cheat on the mana for Be Prepared that way. Drawing it out, it is an inkable, so that's totally fine, but let's stop that here and get right to the games, because again, just did this video but without the audio, so if you want to go back and watch the gameplay, that's fine, but put on your own music for that one. But here we go, and I already closed Pixelborn. Excuse me, you can see my wife and I here. Unprofessional as ever. Sorry. But yeah, let's jump right into the games. Thought I had the already set up here, but I guess not. Got a little bit of the audio going from this. And again, as far as gameplay goes, I did just do 2 sets. I'm going to pair these together. I'm going to label them one with audio, one without. Let's just do one game for now, and look at the other ones for gameplay option or gameplay notes. All right, this hand is pretty slow. It also is going second. Now they're all inkable. However, I'd rather just kind of redraw most things here. I think I'm going to keep a Maleficent just because it's a very good card to have early. It helps you sing friends on the other side and kind of get the ball rolling that way. Now we do have 2 uninkables in the hand. It's quite a bit. Makes me a little bit weary for playing Tibbs out early, but having this many cantrips, meaning cards that replace themselves, is quite comforting. So here we are. My initial thought is to ink the Lifu and play Sergeant Tibbs. But if they don't play anything out on turn 1, I might bypass playing a 1-cost card altogether. And I'm just going to ink here and just pass, because I'm probably going to ink the 1-cost card, but I'm not certain yet. And I don't really want to get ahead by any means, because that's not what this deck's trying to do. It's not trying to play to the board as early as it can. It has some of the early cost cards to more play defense against the other early cost cards, because there is not much in the way of removal in the game. So we'll see here. All right, another uninkable. I really need to, them accelerating is kind of rough for me, but I can't really afford to play a 1-cost card out here because I'm going to be too low on resources with 3 uninkables, and inking a Beast Mirror, man. All right, here's a 4-cost Hans. Yeah, that's a strong one. All right, they're not playing the race here as far as lore, though I do want to kind of have something like that going on. I don't have an Elsa to pair with this, so I'm going to ink it, I believe. I'm just going to draw a card with the Maleficent. They're going to be able to deal 1 damage to it, but that's fine. Shield of Virtue looking a little awkward here, but there's a quest. There's 1 damage on my Maleficent. I kind of have to use it to either deal damage here or sing, because it's not going to do much else. Wonder what they're going to play here. Something costs 5? Probably. Alright. 5-cost character is going to be a little rough. Ooh, Goofy the bodyguard. Okay. Alright, so we're pretty behind, but I'm pretty glad we had this be prepared here. I'm going to just start by using this and singing with it. Kind of using my cards here as more resources, more ink than actually using them for questing right now, because my plan is to be prepared at this point, because I'm pretty far behind. I'm going to play the Shield of Virtue out, mainly because I think they're going to whole new world me, and I don't want that to really happen right now. And for that similar reason, I think I'm going to just play either Rafiki or Aladdin. I think Aladdin has a higher impact, because I was thinking well, no, let's play Rafiki out. If I drew the other Aladdin, it can't really get through this Goofy, so that's kind of why I'm going to hold off on it for now. But and not the greatest shape against Whole New World, but what can you do? Oh, Musketeer, Tavard. I'm kind of not a fan that the only color with removal for items is the one with the best items. I'm not saying this isn't one of the best items, but the only one, I mean, steel is the only color with break or the beast, and not being able to answer those is kind of rough in some of these things. So I have to hit the bodyguard if I'm going to do anything, so I don't really want to do that. Kind of treating this as the similar to the previous turn. And just kind of use these as card draw effects. I'm going to use this to sing. Let's ink the Tibbs and play Gaston, because Gaston can do some damage to the Goofy. That's not 0. But again, we're not so far behind where we're going to be in trouble. And this is whenever one of your characters is banished. Oh, it's not just in a challenge, it's just banished. Okay, so just killing it with Be Prepared is not going to do much. Okay. Wonder where this point's going. Okay, Maleficent. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so they're kind of just throwing their hands up with that. That's fine here. As far as what they want to do with their challenge effects. So I actually can go challenge this here. This goes here. Yeah, they get to draw a card. I can play this out to ready this guy here. I can just use the effect. I think I'd rather just play it out, I think. No, I do need the resources, actually. I actually don't even know if I can play both Aladdins. Yeah, so I'm going to just do this. Use this to ready. Challenge here. Nice little swing. And play Aladdin out. Shrinks their lore a little bit. Now they do have this thing still going on, which is still pretty good. I wouldn't really, not the biggest fan of it, because I really am a big fan of playing steel right now because of some of the cards it has access to, but Definitely does look good against decks that can't remove Musketeer Bard. Yeah. That's fine. Ooh, the Queen. Interesting. I'm just going to have to play Be Prepared here. Kind of in a rough spot in that sense. Just can't get through their two big things, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's just being able to having to fight through that and Musketeer Bard. So a lot of bodyguards on their side is going to be tough to get through, and I think I have to have Elsa take over pretty quickly here, or this is going to out advantage me. Especially since, again, I thought this was just when it's banished in a challenge, but I guess, you know, just any kind of bodyguard's fine too. Ooh, that's good for me. Them having to play that out. They are a little bit down on resources. They do only have 5 ink going on here. Now with a lantern, that's technically 6, but you know, them just not being able to do something here is kind of rough. All right, Mickey Mouse, sure. If they play something here, I'm looking to, if I draw a resource, I might try and play these both out. An ink, a card ink, like an ink here. Otherwise, I might just be forced to play Elsa out, depending on if they have something down or not. But it really depends on what they're going on here. All right, they're inking for a 5-cost card. Oh, another Musketeers. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right, that's unfortunate. Because I really want to get this out. Maybe I just do it anyway. And just let these things chain together and win the game. Now, I only do have 10 cards that are uninkable. I've drawn 4 of them in the top 20. That's not unreasonable. That's about right. I guess I've also 4, 5. I've drawn half in the top 20. That's not the worst, number-wise. All right, so bodyguard. Sure. Uh-oh. Let's draw a card. Right, there's Elsa. So let's do that. And deep freeze. Ooh, Elsa's good. Yeah, this thing, especially if you shift onto it this way, which I could play some of the 4-cost Elsas to have more things to shift, whether it be the Crimson, the Ruby one, or the Amethyst one. But for right now, I'm just doing these 2. Yep. That's fine with me. I'm gonna ignore those for the most part. Just gonna play another Elsa out, and this thing's just gonna take over. Nice. Let's draw a card. Quests. And I'm going to ink this one. I'm going to get to more resources. I think I'm going to need them going a turn or 2 down the road. But Elsa just really... This is 3. I mean, yeah, this is a lot to overcome on their side. Other Musketeer characters get +1. This also, if I really didn't want to attack into to one of the bodyguards, I can actually untap their bodyguard in some instances too, which is kind of cool. All right, that's what they got. That's really all they got going on here. So let's start by drawing a card. Usually want to start that way. Let's quest, and what are we going to do? So I can quest. This is getting inked for sure. These are just questing, I know that much. I can just... I don't want this to get hit by Tinkerbell. Not really. Trying to think what am I gonna do here. Am I just gonna use this turn to like set up a big be prepared and then be prepared next turn for pretty much nothing? I think I do that. How much are they threatening here? 5. That's quite a bit actually. Okay. I can't take this out, can I? No. That would have been good earlier. 1 turn too late on that one. All right. threatening to go up to 17 lore, which is pretty much all they need, but oof, that's rough. Well, that's why I'd be prepared. So they'll get some value out of this here, trading wise, but I think we're okay. Yep, so they hit that. They get to finish off the queen this way. They're probably going to use Captain Hook to take care of the Elsa, and then quest with the rest. Feels about right. Yep. This Be Prepared is going to give the one card back on the Mickey Mouse hit. But, ooh, that was great. Yeah, so let's quest here. Banish all characters. Boom. And we're going to draw or play out the Elsa here. We don't need to play more resources right now. This is plenty. Why'd they draw? Oh, they have two of them play. I was like, why'd they draw two? I'm like, oh yeah, there's two. They've gotten some cards back off this. It's been more impressive than I would have given it credit for, mainly because I didn't realize it could activate on not challenge effects. That was only when challenged, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to play these two actually. So let's quest here. Fortunately, they do draw two again, but you know, what you can do. Now Tibbs is actually just going to help me erase a bit. I hope. It could get grab your sorted, but you know, what are you going to do in that case? Grab your swords, grab your sword, and that's 5 of their 6 resources, which fine with me. Simba. Oh, is this the grab your sword? But it doesn't do too much for him. Now this is a point in the game where you would see the Shield of Virtue being essentially tap, pay 3 and exert, because you would quest, untap, and tap again or something like that. Oh, okay. Punzel not really doing much there. Alright, so let's use Elsa to tap here. Tibbs can take that out. Or I guess I might just want to quest with Tibbs and hit it with this. It's probably going to hit there, so let's not do that. Doing a lot of things all at once, just for fun. Where was your bodyguard, man? I thought you were supposed to be bodyguarding things. What happened? What happened to your board? Man, that was unfortunate. It's kind of the idea of the deck. Elsa really letting some of these rush cards come down and help control the board. And again, Maleficent just being a card that went late, and hey, it worked out. Another victory there. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. I said I was going to do one. We'll do 2, just like in the previous video. Again, if you want to watch it with no audio, that's fine. My mistake. I will not let it happen again. I forgot to turn the audio on for my recording. But yeah, we went through the deck again, and you know, I'm only human. All right, I'm going first. I don't really like much of what's going on in this hand. I do like to keep Elsa though. I think Elsa just really good. I'm looking for some of the draw 2 effects. Yeah, there we go. Maleficent and that. It's fine. We do have some uninkables. This Leafu is probably not going to get played. This Maleficent's probably going to go down real fast. Just to, you know, as I said, we drew it late last game and it was great, and now it's also our first resource of the game, and that's also great. So maybe you should be split playing more. But I think Maleficent's one of the cards that's going to creep up in a lot of Ruby decks that get played just because it has such versatility. It's, you know, a resource early and the best thing to do late. You don't ever feel bad about inking it like you do like not being able to ink an Elsa. So that's always a nice moment. Yeah, I'm going to just... They didn't do anything on turn 1. It was a Ruby card. It was goofy. Yeah, I'm just going to hold off on playing anything for right now. I don't really need to. Alright, so they're playing Sapphire. Alright, we'll ink that one. I'm just going to play something that I don't mind getting, you know, traded off with early. Maleficent, and use this to help power out our friends on the other sides. All these friends. We're making so many friends on the other side here. We do have the ability to shift into an Elsa if that's what we end up doing. Man, they have a lot of evasive cards in Sapphire here. Huh. Alright, so we can use this to be sung. I think that's worth not being able to lure here. Let's play out the dock. And I'm going to play Elsa out. I don't need to really pressure this. I don't really care to. Don't want to give them an extra resource right now. If they want to throw that away, it's still an exerted resource. So they don't get to use it immediately, which is nice. Man, they have a lot of evasive big things. Alright, yeah, so they're throwing it away for next turn having an extra resource. That's fine. There's Belle. Okay, Belle's a good one. Let's again sing here. I could instead exert this and play this out to trade here, but I think that's a pretty poor use of my resource. I think I just want to play the queen out. So let's sing first. Off Maleficent. It's kind of Maleficent's job is to sing. Didn't really think she was, cast for that kind of role, but who knows? People get different jobs all the time. Let's quest here. That's fine. I'm a little wearisome of a Maui if I do this, but I do have Rafiki to kind of check that back. It would be, card disadvantage in that way with Elsa being taken out and then having to throw away another card to deal with their Maui, but what can you do? Alright. Fair. I didn't know what was going on. There's a lot of weird evasive stuff I haven't seen much of being played, and that as well. Okay, they're willing to trade there. That's interesting. I guess that means they might have another Maui even. I guess I could just draw here. And I'm going to ink the Elsa. Rafiki. Challenge you. Why does this say it can be played? It can't be played. Right? Why would I be able to play this here? Whatever. I shouldn't have three. I played both Rafikis. I think I just kind of played them quickly. They didn't track it properly. But as far as I know, you can't sing with something that has a rush. I don't believe. I think it just lets it challenge immediately, not sing. So I don't know why I would show that, but who knows. Again, this program I believe is fan-made. It's not perfect. It's just, heavily great to be able to use something for right now. Mainly because it's going to be hard to get your hands on some cards early on. Being able to practice and kind of make sure you know the right decks that you want to play for when you can get the cards is going to be pretty helpful. But for right now, it just our kind of testing method, just playing some games, making some content, doing some things. But thanks again for tuning in. I think I mentioned previously in the last video, which again, if you want to look, you can for the gameplay. The audio is missing. My fault. Yeah, you should subscribe, or do whatever they say for YouTube's. I don't really do YouTube that much, but we're learning. We're learning to do more of it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna have to trade off here because I don't want that to be some kind of weird thing. I could. Yeah, I'm gonna ink the draw 2 and just play out in Aladdin. I can help. Elsa can lock something down for Aladdin to then take out. Not really too much of a swing right here. Oof. All right. That's rough. Let us play another one out. I'm going to pass here. I don't need to play this out yet because the most I can play here would be something that costs 8. Next turn I already have something that costs 8. So yeah, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Let's take a quest here and play Elsa out. We're getting in a tricky situation, I think, by playing stuff out when we have these 2 Be Prepared in our hand. It might have been right to Be Prepared there and then just play Elsa out, but I guess they don't want to have any more of it. That was that. Elsa just, clearly the best 8-cost card, even though it is uninkable. No, it's quite good, and it's something I'm very much a a fan of. And I was a fan of this deck. Again, the dock is the wrong one on this version, the one that you should be playing, the 2-cost one, that's a 0/4. But I like the deck. It does a lot of, good things as far as helping control the board with Elsa and Lifu, showing its versatility in some of those games there, being ink most of the time. But I'm a fan, as well as Shield of Virtue really showing off that it doesn't look like it, but it is a very powerful card, especially combined with, the Queen. And I think in the first couple videos, again, where there's no audio, so just play something nice and just watch. Being able to protect your Elsa too when you're using it late in the game just to quest, and then ready it to then not be able to be challenged is pretty nice, as well as draw extra cards with the Queen, to essentially pay 3 and exert something else with Elsa. And it could be, again, wrong that I'm not playing more of it. Not certain quite yet, just trying stuff out. But if you liked what was going on here, you should hit the like and subscribe button, because I'll be doing more of ththese with audio, I promise. But until next time, thanks for tuning in, everyone. See you later.